Ferguson. Valbert skorar. Valbert Gunnarsson hefur skorað. Ragnar Ferguson og skoðaðar. Glæsilega. Óskar Ragnar á móti Bjarna. Og Bjarni með góða sendingu fyrir og það aftur Ingvarsson.
Hello and welcome back to the best pod ever. I am Ragnar, as always, and I am joined here today, as never, by no one. Because Tryggvi is away on a little birthday trip. It is the middle of summer, so we will allow for some personal time. Think of it as an injury, or perhaps a red card. Anything to get you in the mood for some football. Today's going to be short and sweet. I'm just going to run you guys through match day 15 rather. Match day 15 of the Besta Deildin. Go over what happened over the weekend, some transfer rumors, and something about the European games. So let's dive right on in. First of all, the big result of this round has to be in Akureyri, has to come from the game there between Kawa and Víkingur. Kawa with a huge upset, beating Víkingur 1-0. That puts them on 18 points. Still in 8th place, still in the bottom half, but completely unexpected there. Víkingur with 10 shots, 7 corners in the first half. Kawa managing to hold on. Steinþór Már, huge game in goal. And then Sveinn Margeir with a great individual goal, which, wonderful for him, especially because it's his last game before heading off to the States for college, like we've mentioned on previous episodes. So incredible result there for Kawa. A little bit of complacency maybe from Víkingur, although the stats might indicate a little bit of lack of luck instead. But this really opens things up for Breiðablik. Breiðablik, of course, beat KR 4-2. And yeah, just a machine that KR were powerless to stop. 3 goals in 25 minutes in the first half, and small wonder that it didn't get much worse in the second half. KR just sort of sat back, invited pressure the entire time, and at some point that didn't quite pan out for them. KR having quite a thin squad. Pálmi's 14-year-old son being on the bench. I guess no comment there, but it's a sad state of affairs for KR. I mean, we've talked about this before. It's simply not good enough. And when asked, the reply is, we're coward, we shouldn't be there, referring to the bottom of the table. I mean, yeah, perhaps you shouldn't be there, but the situation at Coward is looking like you can't, be making reference to the fact that you're historically huge. This season they're showing themselves to be deservedly at the bottom of the table. And as a self-described and admitted Coward fan, this is starting to look pretty terrible. But first win in just over a month in the league for Breiðablik. And at this point, they're 3 points behind Víkingur. So things are looking good for them. Similarly, things are looking decent for Stjarnan. A patient win there over Fylkir. I mean, probably a win they should have gotten, really. Fylkir doing similar to KR, sitting back and defending, which, eventually didn't quite pan out for them. Emil, Atla, and Örvar subbed on, making all the difference there. And Fylkir played all right, but I mean, simply couldn't hold on there. But Ragnar Páll, the Fylkir coach, still relatively upbeat, given everything, saying that they just have to prove that they are worthy of being in this division, which they think they are, and they just have to keep on trucking and see how things go. I mean, Fylkir, we've talked about them a little bit. Their results are kind of all over the place. They lose a lot, and then every once in a while they'll pull out a big win. I mean, they're 1 point off Vestri, who are in 11th. They're 3 points off of KR and Háká in 9th and 10th. There is obviously still the possibility for them to stay up. So really the next games and then everything that comes after the split obviously is going to be very big for them. Who knows what they're going to be able to do. Another game there at the bottom was Háká against Vestri. We talked about this as an opportunity for one of these teams to try to drag themselves out of this race to the bottom. Didn't really pan out that way. 1-1 draw there. Both defenses standing strong. Big mistake from Leifrandur to give Vestri their goal. But big loss for Háká there in that game with their goalkeeper Arnar. Went off injured. And they brought in Beitir Ólafsson, previously of KR. But their manager doesn't seem to think that they can count on him at his age to finish the season. So they are apparently in the market for a new goalkeeper. But out goes one and in comes the other. Gustav Kjeldsen was on the bench for Vestri against Háká and apparently is doing probably better than expected. And hopefully we can see him back on the pitch soon. And then the final game that was played was FH Ía, another 1-1 draw. This, of course, we discussed this last time. FH and Ía really sort of fighting to, they're duking it out for fourth place, potentially third, given depending on how Valur perform. But neither one really managed to capitalize there. FH more on the ball, but poor usage of their chances. Ía almost snatched it as well with an effective game plan of counterattacks and set pieces. But in the end, 1-1 in Hafnarfjörður. So FH in fourth on 25 points, Ía in fifth on 24. Both really, though, looking very confident in the top half of the table. Stjarnan below them in sixth on 20 points. Fram then in seventh on 19. Fram with a game in hand, though, because Fram's game against Valur was postponed twice with very little notice. Once because of the game in Albania, which Ragnar was quite unhappy about, given how late this delay was announced. And then it was delayed again because of the all this flight nonsense because of that update that wreaked havoc across the globe in computer systems. So they had to push the game again. And that one Ragnar did not have a problem with, of course, because it was out of everyone's hands, other than Microsoft and whatever terrible company was in charge of that little update. So that's all for the games that are happening in this round. Then, of course, there were the European games. The spicy one in Albania, Vllaznia versus Valur, the one that we discussed last time, the one that turned a little bit violent in Iceland. Valur going there and absolutely dominating, playing like Valgentina, according to the commentators, which is a pun, I guess. But coming away with a 4-0 victory, a much better team, never looking like they were going to lose. Gylfi and co showing off their quality and all their experience. And this is one of the biggest wins of an Icelandic side in Europe ever. One of the 5 biggest Icelandic men's football wins away in Europe. Specific stats here. Obviously, KR have the biggest one against Glenavon, Northern Ireland, 6-0 in 2016. And then Valur now share second place with 3 other teams, Keflavik and FH. So that's history. That's absolutely history. But Valur are now going to face a tougher test in St. Mirren. Stjarnan, however, could not manage to beat Linfield, lost 3-2, but still a big result because if you recall, they won 2-0 at home. So on aggregate, they win and they do advance. So they're going to face Haide Linna Meskond. Apologies from Estonia, but a real big loss for Stjarnan. But overall win. Could have ended badly after an early on goal from Guðmundur Kristjáns. But Emil Atla, Hilmar Árni, experienced boys, showed up and secured a big pseudo victory there for Stjarnan. So good job to them. And then Breiðablik as well. They won in the league this round. One at home, in Europe against GFK Tikves Kavardarci. Big performance after a disappointing first leg. They conceded Breiðablik the opening goal. Silly little goal, making it hard for themselves by Breiðablik, but they after that they just took control and made the necessary subs in the end there to win it before extra time. And Höskuldur Gunnlaugsson, who scored the second goal for Breiðablik. This was his 10th Breiðablik goal in Europe, and he's only the 3rd men's player who managed to score 10 goals for an Icelandic team in Europe ever. Atli Guðnason has more. He has 11 for FO, and Tryggvi Guðmundsson has 10, just like Höskuldur. So he's there in joint second place in the top 3. So fantastic performance from him overall there. And they're going to, after this win, Breiðablik, they're going to face Drita from Kosovo. So 3 great results for Iceland in Europe there. Love to see it. Wish them luck in the coming games. In terms of transfer rumors and news, this week, Jakob Gunnar to KR confirmed. We've discussed this on past episodes as well, and confirmed that he's going to join next season despite KR's clear need for players. Another player who is potentially set to join KR at the end of the season, Alexander Helgi, who is confirmed that he will leave Breiðablik and apparently has agreed terms with KR. David Ingvarsson is coming back to Breiðablik. He went to Kolding in Denmark at the end of last season, but lack of game time has meant that he's cut his time there short and decided to sign back with Breiðablik. Adam Pálsson, the Valur player, is going to Perugia on loan with an option to buy after signing a new deal with Valur. And then in tangentially Besta Deildin news, Jökull Andrésson is coming back from England, from Reading, going to Afturelding in the first division. He was linked with a move to KR. His brother, Axel Oskar, plays there, but confirmed he's going to Afturelding. And then finally a little rumor, Sami Kamel coming back to Besta Deildin. I know Tryggvi and Joe sang his praises. Kawa making an offer to Keflavík to sign him, which was apparently rejected, but some interest there in bringing this goal scorer back to the league, and I know that would please some people on this podcast. Now to wrap it up, players of the round, the 3 stars. First one's going to go to St. Þormar with a huge game for Kawa, which kept them in it and then led them to a huge victory over Víkingur. So fantastic job there between the sticks. Second star is going to Aron Bjarna at Breiðablik. 2 assists, created a lot more than just that, and was just a nuisance overall in the game. He's been key for Breiðablik. And now that Jasundad is gone, they're going to depend heavily on him. And given this sort of performance, then they should be in all right hands. And then the final star is going to Helgi Frode at Stjarnan. Creative force there, and then he wrapped it up with an incredible goal at the end, so fully deserved as well. And then finally, we asked if KA would finish in the top half. Almost 2/3, 63% said yes, and 37% said no. So that is relatively unexpected from my point of view. But 2/3 of people thinking KA is going to end in the top half. I like the optimism. I'm not sure I agree with you, but I mean, I'd love to see it. I would love to see it, actually. So, short and sweet this week. We'll be back after the next round of games, hopefully with 2 of us. Perhaps not. But until then, keep enjoying the football. Stay tuned, stay hydrated, etc. Thank you. Goodbye.